guys, we have the Ender 3 Max. So this is basically an oversized Ender 3. It's built off the Ender 3 platform. Really, I was excited about this one. I want to share it with you guys. So I'm hoping if this is successful and I can talk my way through a video like this, I'll do more technology videos. I've been looking at the Anycubic Mega X, as well as another Creality, I think it was a CR10 Plus or V2, one of those two. But as soon as I saw this one, I knew I had to have it, and one of the biggest selling points was Prime Day. Prime Day, this was like $280. So for that price point and what this is and all the upgrades that come with it, it was a no-brainer. Now, one of the things that turned people off on this, and I'll get into this later on once we get it open, is the actual screen. The interface is the same as the original Ender 3. However, I'm okay with that. Everything else has been upgraded. It's got the silent board, the silent motors, the upgraded extruders. So this is a bad boy, and it has, even the extended volume. It's 300 by 300 by 320 with the glass plate. And again, I'm no expert on these printers. I am a novice user. I know what I'm looking for in a printer, and that's basically it. Outside of that, I'm still learning, but definitely won't go on the camera. So, alright, let's get into it. So, basic packaging, we get our foam here. Okay, so there is some building required with this. It's not as much as with the Enders. I think they've learned, heard the customer feedback, and they've tried to put as much as they could, especially when it came to the actual structure. A lot of that is put together. The structure itself is only 4 screws, but there are still some things you got to put together. So in the box, we got the power cord. We have a bunch of accessories. Some trial white resin or white filament. We have our interface, which is the interface I was telling you guys. This is pretty much the identical interface to the original Ender 3. Now this is a new part. This is the holder for your filament spool. This actually goes on the side of it instead of sitting up high. So that's cool. This is the upgraded. You'll see this is much smaller. If you have an Ender 3, a much smaller form factor power supply. So this is the upgraded power supply. And then we have our spool reel that just basically fits above. And we're going to pull it out. So without trying to break it. So here's the first part. You guys see me struggling here, don't laugh. Okay. Try and get this down without breaking it. One bed sliding off. We made it without gear in front of us. You can see what I was saying about that cord here, keeping them together. But for the most part, unlike the Ender 3s, this thing is pretty much together, as you can see. And just look how big this print bed is. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but that's a huge print bed. Can't even talk. Print bed. I'm going to go ahead and remove this glass bed. So you have these two little here that just slide out. Plastic on it's pretty tough. But these just slide right out. And this is the nice upgraded glass bed with the material on top, so that, you know, as it heats up, it sticks really well, and when it cools, it releases. So you want to make sure you don't scratch that. So you're not going to want to use the metal spatula that comes with it or anything like that. So we're going to set that to the side. Go ahead and close these clips. And the first thing that we're going to want to do, I'll get the instructions to make sure, but the first thing we're going to want to do is get the structure together. So I'm going to go after the accessory bag for the instructions, as well as the hardware to put it together. So Creality Ender 3 Max manual, which is nice to have a manual. And I think there's only a couple steps for this guy, so that's fun. So we have the print base, we have the gantry frame, we have the screen. Let's make sure we have everything here. We have our power supply. We have the cord for our power supply. We have our rack, as well as our spool for our filament. And it looks like we have a bunch of nicely labeled golf hardware accessories. So that's nice. They label it really well. That's awesome, Creality. Power supply is going to go on this side, and don't know how well you can see them, but there are two screws along here, 1, 2 screw holes, and those are going to be where we mount it. So we will plates. We're going to hand put these in to start out with. There's a notch. Okay, I'll show you again. There's actually a notch. These teeth need to get in that notch and it goes out easy. So don't force it to go in easy. Test spring here. And we're going to go with our tried and true windows that we normally print. So the bed's going to heat up here. From this, so